You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Y&R fans. I am wondering about this situation with Summer and Kyle and them deciding to get a divorce. I think a lot of us, enjoy them together as a couple. To be honest, and this is nothing against Allison Lanier, who I think is a great actress, but I enjoyed Skyle more as a couple when Hunter King was in the role. And that may just be down to, a change in storyline, things like that. It's not an insult. It's not a comparison of one actress to another, just the storylines of one era versus another. And I don't know, but I know a lot of people definitely want them to stay together. And this week we saw Kyle and Summer agree to move forward with their divorce. But both of them seem really hard hit by it, but he's just not willing to compromise and forgive her. So the core issue keeping them apart is what Summer Newman did to his mom by keeping Phyllis Summers' secret that she faked her death and leaving his mom, Diane Jenkins, to rot in jail for weeks. That was a pretty awful deed. But Diane Jenkins isn't holding a grudge against Summer over this, and she's even encouraged Kyle to work things out with his wife. But that is not enough to put that house of cards back together. But I wonder if Diane and Phyllis working together might accomplish it. Here's how these two moms could save Skyle. We are going to dig into this. We have a 5-point plan. No, we don't. We have a 3-point plan. I have less points in my plan than I thought. I have 3 that I'm going to tell you all about. But if you haven't already, please reach down, click subscribe so you don't miss any of our Y&R updates, spoilers, and news. All right. Definitely it seems like it'd be a cold day in the darkest, hottest depths of hell before Phyllis and Diane would share common ground and be ladies that lunch together, but they actually have several common concerns that they could tackle if they work together. First of all, neither of them wants to see Kyle and Summer divorce. Second, neither wants them to see Kyle with Audra while Summer's sad and alone. And last, neither wants to see Harrison Locke upset. After all, his birth mom is or was in prison, Tara Locke, so he doesn't need any more heartache in his little life. So these are all things the two grannies can agree on, even if they don't like each other at all. And since Phyllis had a good scare about spending years behind bars, she seems genuinely remorseful about her plot against Diane. And Jack's new wife has actually been passing polite to Phyllis. They haven't been at war. Despite their messy past going back decades, I could actually see Phyllis and Diane coming together for this common cause to keep Kyle and Summer from getting the divorce that they both just agreed to. Is it too late to save Skyle, or can they make it happen? Can this be a Mama Bear plot to make it happen? You may remember that Diane sat down with Audra the other day, and she was very clear with her that she doesn't want Kyle with her, and she thinks she is a manipulative gold digger, opportunist, etc. And I'm sure Phyllis doesn't want Tucker McCall's bed buddy, partner in crime, stealing Summer's life. So here's how I think Phyllis and Diane could accomplish the result of saving their kids' marriage. All right. First thing, just off the bat, Diane and Phyllis have to truly put the past behind them. Neither of these ladies will ever be president of the other one's fan club. Facts. But they can be civil, and they did agree to a fresh start. And one of Kyle Abbott's chief concerns that he raised when he was talking to Nick about this divorce was family harmony. He does not see it's possible because of the lengths that Phyllis went to so she could ruin his mom's life. And Summer was an active part of that. But if Phyllis and Diane truly decided to peacefully coexist, that might convince Kyle. He says he wants harmony. If they give him harmony, that's one objection out of the way. Number 2, they could get Audra out of the picture. Audra is a problem because Kyle jumped right into bed with her 3.5 seconds after he walked out on Summer. But I bet that Diane and Phyllis, because they're both master schemers, working together, they could run her off. Maybe Phyllis could leverage what Adam found out about the cover-up to create bad press, to force the Newmans in a position where they had to fire her. Several people now know about it, but it's not been made public. Liana Love could be someone they could use to make a big PR mess that would name and shame Audra and make it hard for Kyle to publicly date her without a scandal, and could make her so uncomfortable in Genoa City that she might pack her gold-digging bags and go. All right. The third and last thing I think that these ladies could try is that Phyllis and Diane could go to Kyle together as a united front, because family unity is a big part of this issue for Kyle. Showing him that they are truly cool with each other could help, I think. And if Phyllis told Kyle she was heavily pressuring Summer until she caved, and that's why she lied, I think that could help. And if Diane says she does not blame Summer one bit, then he can't really hold a grudge, right? If his mom isn't. So together, they might get him to open up his ears and listen. I mean, I did notice that Kyle seemed kind of sad and distressed after they walked away from that conversation and he turned down a wild night with Audra. So I feel like he's feeling this more than he's saying that he's feeling this. And Kyle also said to Kyle that the scheming side of Summer is the same one that blackmailed him into marriage before she'd donate a sliver of liver to save Lola Rosales' life. And they did seem to move past that, but Summer's recent lie brought all that back to the forefront of his mind. So the moms could also tell him, hey, you know what, you're being a bit of a hypocrite. He has issues with Summer being a schemer, but then Kyle hopped in bed with Audra, whose full name could be Audra Sneaky Schemer Charles. Let's be real. He did not trade up by choosing her. All right, we have a couple of more things to say about these ladies working together, but if you enjoyed this, please click a like. Please click subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. It helps us out so much. And definitely drop your comments on whether you think that they might be able to save Summer and Kyle's marriage. All right, so if Diane and Phyllis don't work together and Skyle can't be saved, here's who I'd like to see as the next partners for each of them. For Summer, the only person I feel is right for her is Chance Chancellor. She lights up around him, and he's all smiles for her too. I know he's with Sharon now, but I don't see that lasting. And as for Kyle, if he needs a woman that won't cheat or lie or scheme, then he needs to dump Audra. And I would like to see him ask Dr. Elena Dawson out on a nice date. She's a good girl. Maybe he needs a good girl for a change. What do you guys think? Do you want a Summer Kyle reunion? If not, who would you like to see each of them with? Drop your comments. We read them all. We appreciate you tuning in. If you're an international listener, drop me a comment and I'll give you a home country shout out. Thanks to everybody for listening. This is Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.